here's some true life of a grinder stuff. It's Monday at like 2:30 in the morning. I am playing four-handed PLO 2-4 right now. This is like true grinder stuff that you see. I'm going to show you, I'm playing 2-4 PLO right now. You can see that I'm $3,000 deep. There's like almost $8,000 on the table between four people. This is one of those things I just talked to my students about. This game, even though it's short-handed and it's 2:30 in the morning, I shit you not, this game's been going on since like 10:30. Like earlier I played it, I lost like I think 1,800. I punted and told the guys I was taking a little bit of a break and I'd be back. I took like a 2-hour break, maybe. But the game started back up at like 10:30 after I took like a 2-hour break. 2 hours, it was a full table, but it was 1-2 Big O. But I still stuck piles. Then we moved it up to 2-4. And yeah, it's been going for 4 hours, but the game's so good. Every time I raise, I'm getting 3-bet, and I'm raising with premiums. So the game's just super juicy, and I'm tired, and I'm not going to bed. One of the first things I preach to my students all the time is, especially if they have a spouse or a loved one, like just tell them there is no time limit. Like if the game is good, you're going to play. If the game is bad, you're going to get up. Like that's legit the bottom line. Like people want to know what's the poker life of what's the schedule of a poker player? What's the schedule of an online poker player? Jesus Christ, it's whenever the games are popping off. Like right now I'm tired. So yeah, I mean, I'm in this game for 1,400. I'm up to 3,200. I'm going to show you guys a couple of the hands that I played this week online, because I get asked a lot, Professor, where's most of your action since you live in the middle of nowhere? As a poker player, you're going to play when the games are good. Ooh, glad I didn't miss this hand. Ace 3 4 6 queen. This week I had like a night where I won $5,000, then I won like 1,000, then I lost 1,500, and then I won like about 1,400 right now. You know, the madhouse that I play on is pretty swingy. There's action to be had there, though. People are not afraid to splash their money around. I mean, the logo is a guy holding onto 4 cards in a hoodie, lighting money on fire. That's the logo. Yeah, so this is me, life of a grinder, 2:30 in the morning on a Monday, playing poker. It's the life that I chose, but that's okay. This is like real, you know? And it was funny because it wasn't this week, but the previous week, I think I had a week where I made like $10,000 or so playing online. And I said to my wife, I said, isn't it amazing? I said, when we were going to high school, like AOL group messenger, AIM messenger, group chats were like the thing. I said, can you imagine when we were going to high school that I could tell you I sit home and click buttons on a computer and do things digitally and make $10,000 in a week? I said, it's just crazy, you know? And don't get me wrong, it's not my first 10K week, but it's nice when you have a 10K week. When you're getting prepped for one of the biggest games you've played in, the 5K 10-10. Now I've played a 10-25, 5-10-25 game, and I've also played a 10-25-50 game. So this 10-10 that's coming up on the stream isn't technically my biggest game I've played in, but it's a 5K buy-in. So it's a bigger buy-in for cash games than I'm used to buying into. Like I'll play a 75-150 and go buy in for $4,000 and feel perfectly comfortable with it. Of course, it's a limit game. We have an overpair, nut low draw, nut flush draw on a 3-4-10. And he pots it after I pot it. I think we're just getting it in here. Okay, well here's a huge pot. This is one that's going to be live that you guys are going to see. But obviously I'm calling this one. We need a spade. He's got a pair of 10s. Got jacks. Okay, so we're getting 3/4 right now. Oh God, and we get 3/4. Well, that was an unfortunate river. That river cost me $621. I needed to avoid a 7, a 10, or a 9. Every other card I win $600. But you know, when you have this, like, okay, so now I'm still up 1,000, but it's like you can't even get upset about that. That's just the variance that goes along with this game. And when you're playing with somebody who is a little bit more aggro, yeah, that's just going to happen a little bit more often. You know, like here I am raising again. He's probably going to 3-bet me. Oh, he folded. So I just got done watching the live stream from the Venetian for Big O. Really looking forward to being on the live stream on Friday. This coming up Friday, by the way. And it's the last Friday in April as well. Now we're hoping we can get a lot of views. So if you haven't already put a reminder in your calendar, go ahead. But yeah, this is Life of a Grader, professor style. 2:30 in the morning drinking coffee, because especially after he just won an extra $600 off me. I know it's going to be a late night. I mean, don't get me wrong. I can lock up a win, but the other crushers on the club are not playing. Well, I've got ace, ace, deuce, 5. He raised. I'm going to make it 100. I'm not even going to full pot it. Just make it an even 100. He calls. Flop a set of aces with the not low. See if I can down bet 75. He calls. Turns a 5. I don't like it. I have ace, ace, deuce, 5. Hoping he just calls. There's 400 in the pot. I did not want to call a $700 raise right there. If he had a deuce 4, that would have cooked me right there. That would have been bad, especially against that player. Like when the splashy player raises, you just got to call. You push in and you pray. You're like, I hope this is good. Sometimes you have to do that in Omaha. And I think that's why like splashier players love Omaha, is because they know your range is going to include a call with a really good hand that just can't fold, because they might just have that one hand where they have the, aha, I got you. And that's what they live for, you know. But you got to let them get that win. You got to let those splashy players get the win, because they get the win. It makes them feel great. Here I got the Tye Dye at the table. Oh, I don't like that turn. But, ooh, I river trip 6s. He's been known to call some weird bets. I'm going to bet pot here. Looks like I'm bluffing. And he might call me with a king. I mean, I bet 312 for pot. So he might call me with aces. If he's got aces with the heart, he calls. So it's like going for super thin value with 3 of a kind and Big O, betting for pot. That's why I like playing poker with the same players that you've played with before, but over a span of time, because you either get to see a couple things. This hand's no good. You either get to see the development of a player. Like, for example, that's one of the things I like the most about coaching with my students. I find it very rewarding. Apparently there's another game going on at 2:30 at the boarding. See, sometimes these games pop off at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, not usually. They're still going at 2 in the morning. But usually they'll pop off at like 6 o'clock at night. But sometimes they'll pop off at like 11 o'clock in the morning. They just run all day. It's pretty crazy. Lots of heads up tables too. Yours truly may be going to Ireland. I won't know, honestly, until after the stream. And I'll know, like, I come back from Vegas on Monday. I get my sleeve tattoo done on Tuesday. And I think I'll be going to Ireland on, like, that Saturday or Sunday. And I won't know until basically Tuesday if I'm going to Ireland. So, but there is a poker club in Dublin, and I hear from a lot of my students that particularly in Ireland, or like in the UK, everything's PLO 6. I hope that's not the case, but I'm afraid it's going to be. If you see me in Ireland in a poker club, and you recognize me, and I don't have to tell you who I am, drinks are on me for the rest of the night, because I told my wife, I said my dream is to walk into the Dublin Poker Club in Ireland and have somebody be like, Professor, I think I will shit myself. Like, I will be so happy. You will have made my day. So this is the life of a grinder. What do you guys think? Just called a $170 raise with 3 pair. God damn it. Flop was king, 10, 4, turns a jack, river's an ace. Now all of his ace X's beat me. If he had ace high diamonds and a queen beats me. He's got, oh wow, he's got a set of 4s. Wow, with diamonds. Oof. I guess that was a safe run out for our hand. Wow. All right. I guess we lost the minimum there. We could have piled it in on the flop. Well, we flopped a full house with the nut low draw. And Johnny just bet pot into us. And then the tight guy just called. What is going on here? I'm not even going to pot it. I'm just going to 3x it. Johnny called. Other guy folds. Ooh. I mean, we won a $500 pot, but it could have been bigger. I feel like I'm playing good, too. That's the other part. Like earlier what I was playing today, well, you know, I was actually playing pretty decent earlier today too. I like playing, I don't like necessarily always enjoy playing online. I have to be in the right mindset. And you know, here's one of the things I'll tell you. I was coaching a student, this was probably a year ago. I think it was from New York. He was in New York or so. And I said, well, when you're playing poker online, what are you doing most of the time? He says, what do you mean? I said, well, like when I'm playing poker online, man, I'm sitting on the couch, chilling next to my wife, like watching Netflix. And he goes, yeah, he goes, usually like I'm waiting to tuck the kid into bed. The wife's having me do a few errands and stuff like that. And he's like, I'm having a beer, you know, relaxing. And I said to him, I said, when you go to the casino and you sit down at a poker table, I said, are you like relaxing? And he goes, well, no. He goes, I'm focused because I'm at the poker table. And I said, well, is your wife asking you to do stuff while you're at the casino at the poker table? And he goes, well, no, because I'm not there. I'm at the poker table. And I said, why would you treat online any differently? You know, especially for the stakes that he was playing. And it really like turned a light bulb in on him. And so one of the things when I coach students, like especially if they play a decent amount online, there's certain things that I'll coach them on that they'll just instantaneously like benefit from. And some of those things can be like, hey, when you're playing online, treat it like a live game. You know, unless you're playing like 5 cent, 10 cent, and you're just doing it for like pure entertainment or pure enjoyment, or say you're a whale and you're playing 1, 2 and you're doing it for pure enjoyment. But if you're one of those players who is like trying to improve their game, maybe because there's 4 different categories of players. I just flopped the nut straight with an ace 4 low, and now I have a 46 low because an ace came out with the nut high. So I'm hoping for like a black deuce would be perfect. I bet 100 and 160 he folds. So there's 4 different categories of poker players. You have your pure recreational poker player. Those are your players who don't even care about the rake. They don't care about anything. They're just doing it for the enjoyment of the game. And this is like Johnny here. Johnny is like the pure recreational player. He's just doing it for the pure enjoyment. He just wants to beat me out of that one pot. Like I flopped a set of aces. The flop's ace 8 5, and he's potting it into me, you know. And it's like I'm never going away. He's got deuce 3 4. I'm sure he's got deuce 3 6 9. Okay, well, good. He was free rolling to a 3 high flush draw. This is just gross. And a 4 for a $3,600 pot, but we chop. But yeah, so there's 4 different categories of players. You have your pure recreational player. They don't care about the rake. They don't care about any of that stuff. They just want to have fun. And then you have your players who are starting to take the game a little bit more seriously. So some of you may fit into this category, and even some of the pure rec players will watch my vlog, usually for pure entertainment. And maybe half of you watch it for pure entertainment, I'm not sure. But in any case, the second category are people who are recreationals who are starting to take the game seriously. So they're either watching more videos, they're studying, they're starting to figure out, you know, hey, maybe king 8 offsuit is not a great hand to play. Or if they're in the PLO category, you know, they're starting to play PLO and starting to take it a little bit more seriously. So they're playing probably like 10 to 20 hours a week. And then you have the third category of players who I think are players that are semi-professional or high-end recreational players. And those players are usually working 30 to 40 hours a week where they have a full-time job, but they're playing 20 to 30 hours a week in poker. And when they have like vacations and stuff, they can even play like 40, 60 hours a week and be playing like a grinder. Okay. And then your fourth category of poker players are people like myself who are professionals. We play, if the higher stakes we go, the less hours we play. So, for example, a lot of mid-stakes players will play like 25 hours a week, but we don't do anything else. High-stakes players will play like 15 to 20 hours a week. The higher stakes you go up, the less hours you actually work. And the less sessions you have, but the more important every single session is for you. So, and if you think about it, if you're playing 1-3 and you play, you know, say you play 300 1-3 sessions throughout the whole year, you know, you're going to have a little wavy thing where if you play like 25-50, I mean, you're going to have a line that goes like this, but instead you're just going to have much bigger jumps and much bigger spaces because you're only going to play that, say, 50 times in a year versus playing 300 times. So I know it sounds weird, but so you have your 4 different categories of poker players, and I'm not sure where I was going with this. Don't do drugs, kids. I think where I was going with this was when you are sitting at a table and you're one of the professionals and you're at the table with somebody that you recognize is all the way on the other side of the spectrum, just the pure rec having fun, you need to fondle their balls a little bit and have a little fun with them. And if they want to do that at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday night, well, I'm fondling away. That is the life of a grinder. Anybody who tells you otherwise is just simply lying to you. And here's the funny thing. I've met this guy in person, like the nicest guy in the world. I think he even bought me dinner. Yeah, not think. I know for a fact he bought me dinner at Ellis Island. And that was a great dinner, by the way. If you haven't tried it, they have like this great homemade root beer. In any case, I'm on keto and I don't want to talk about that because I might go get some root beer later on this week at Ellis Island. But yeah, so like super great dude, super cool dude. Absolutely love him to death. And it's funny because when he plays live, he tells everybody, he's like, I love playing online with this guy. He's the best guy to play online with. And it's like, thanks, man. I appreciate you, Johnny. Shout out to you, brother. Otherwise, I'd be getting some sleep right now. Thanks, man. No. This is a battle, though. There's 4 of us. Like, I see Johnny and I degenning it up. I think this Justin guy, I don't know if he's a pro, but he's playing well. Aces with the 4, 5, 6. I raise. Johnny's going to 3-bet me. He does a 3-bet pot. We're just going to mid-click it back. He calls. Flop a flush draw. Or a straight draw. King 6, 7. He folds. What's really funny is his 3-betting range is so wide open. My 4-betting range is so much more wide open. Like I just raised again. I have ace 5, 9, 9, jack. But I'm on the button, so I'm going to 4-bet him. Oh, he did not 3-bet me. I'm pretty excited. Wayne and I dropped $4,500 on these outfits that we're going to have for the Venetian Poker Live. And, you know, one thing I will tell you is, yeah, man, it'll be a good live stream, you know. It's something that you guys should tune into. Of course, I'm biased. Don't get me wrong. I'm getting paid by the Venetian to influence, so I want to influence and have you tune in. But I'm just telling you right now, we're going to dress up on every live stream that we're at, and we're going to dress up something different at every live stream that we're at. And you know what? If we've got to spend $4,000 every time on outfits, then we'll spend $4,000. I have no idea what we're going to spend money on. I just know my wife, whose favorite holiday is Halloween. When I said, hey, we need outfits for this, and this concept, she just went nuts. She's already got like 4 different pairs of outfits all the way through. Yeah, again, this is the life of a grinder, man. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Like, there's some nice things about it, like it's a chaotic life from time to time, like especially when you're first starting off. You're first starting off and you're just grinding like week to week. And I see a lot of content creators that happen to play poker versus poker players that are content creators. And I know that sounds weird, and I'm not like knocking other vloggers at all. But what I will tell you, guy that I have a shitload of respect for, I've met in person, love him, I think he's funny. If you haven't already, watch and like and subscribe to his videos. But Greg Goes All In is a perfect example. He's a content creator who happens to play poker. But he did take me for a PLO pot at one point in time. It was like a $1,200 or $1,500 PLO pot. I knew better. I did the whole Daniel Negreanu, knew I was beaten, and called it off anyways. Yeah, he got me for like $1,200. It was funny though, because when he was doing his year-end review, this wasn't this year, I think it was the previous year, he was like, oh, and then here's my PLO win, and he's like, and this is the one time I won from PLO, and I won like $1,600, and I just giggled, because I'm like, Greg, I hope you're thinking about me, brother, because all of that came from me in one hand. And it's so funny, because I'm a little bit older, obviously, and he always says, okay, Dad, as like a father figure joke, you know, because he's young enough to almost be my son, maybe. I don't know what people's ages are. You guys are catching me in rare form. I'm quitting smoking. I'm smoking the rest of my bud right now. I'm recording things that are in my... Oh, we've got a new player. We're 5-handed now at 3 in the morning. This game might get full. This is what I love about the Madhouse, man. Like, this is the kind of shit that you don't even get live. Like, where are you going to play Big O live on a Sunday night? That's 2-4 where you can buy in for, I don't know, $1,200. 300 big blinds. You know, they do it as like a security feature. And I know why that is, because AI has figured out under 250 big blinds for Parliament Omaha. I don't think AI has figured out Big O. I talk to AI people all the time about online poker just to keep up to date with it, especially like hear about all the cheating and collusion and shit. And I think my last vlog was about that. I've had a good couple of weeks, man. Like, I'm up, I don't know, 10, 15K. Online in a couple weeks, depending on how I do tonight, because I always count my weeks Monday through Sunday. Do you guys count your weeks as specific, like Monday through Sunday? Do you go like, if you take Sunday, Monday off, do you do it like Tuesday through Saturday? Kind of curious how everybody else does it. So I had a few meetings with the CEO of a poker company about discussing some really interesting things that I was really excited about. Can't even talk about them, but I want you guys to know that I've always felt that myself as somebody who pushes the barriers of what people might think might be possible when it comes to poker. Like, I always feel I'm an innovator. Like the small blind jackpot. I honestly believe if we implemented something like that in tournaments, it would change everything. And if you're not familiar with the small blind jackpot, like imagine this in a tournament, okay? And I've even come up with rules with how to break tables and things of that nature and what happens in certain situations. But So imagine if you have a small blind and a big blind, say for example in a no limit hold'em tournament. And instead of having a big blind ante, the big blind puts in their ante on the button. And you can even have a button as like secured with a cylindrical chip. The ones that fit the silver dollars will actually hold on to the button as well as tournament size chip. You have that on the button where they put their ante in it when it's on their big blind. And so they toss it into the dealer and the dealer puts it in. And the only person who can win that is the small blind. It takes every GTO out of the window because eventually, if there's like 15 big blinds on the small blind jackpot and the person in the small blind has 30 bigs, like what are they supposed to do? I mean, I think they're supposed to jam in most situations with any two cards to apply pressure. So I know it sounds like a weird concept, but if you play no limit hold'em tournaments and you get tired of the same old, oh, I lost with jacks against ace queen, or I lost with jacks against a7, I played 8 hours in a no limit hold'em tournament and basically lost a coin flip. I mean, at least in PLO, when you're losing, you're like, oh, I have lots of different outs, you know, and then it just goes brick, and you're like, I felt like I did my best. Peace, bro. Hold'em, it's like, wow, I didn't win the 7 flips I needed to win the tournament. I don't know. Let me know if I sound like a bitter old man. Yeah, I was having a discussion with my buddy Premium Hand Sean about selling my action to for the World Series of Poker. And I'm still on the fence about this. Let me know what you guys think. If I did anything, what I would do is I would do $30,000 worth of buy-in tournaments at a 1.3 markup. Let me know. Would you guys be interested in something in that? I don't know yet. I'm on the fence a little bit. I did that last year and I was not profitable, full disclosure. If you didn't see my videos last year, I busted out of the 10K Big O after 6 hours. I don't think I said the F word less than 15 times in the first minute of that video where I bust out. It was my first 10K busting out, so I didn't know exactly how I was going to feel. But, and I just did a straight buy into it too, like total gangster style, degen, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so I would do $30,000 worth of tournaments, and then my goal would be to, and that would include like if I did a $300 one at the Nugget or a $300 one at the Win, you know, it'd just be my first $30,000 worth of tournament buy-ins. So I'm going to be in Vegas, yeah, probably around March 29th or so, maybe March 30th, all the way until the end of June. And then after that, I'll make an evaluation if I want to get there and stay there all the way through July. The one big difference that I'm looking forward to, the one big difference between this year and last year is last year I was dreading Vegas a little bit, like dreading going to be out there for 45 days. This year, I'm not dreading it at all. Like, I'm actually looking forward to it. And I think the other difference is this year I feel like I'm a lot more patient. Like, I'm going to let things come to me instead of me trying to force the issue. So I feel like I'm just a lot more better. I feel like I'm in a way better spot than I was last year. Whether it's like a way better spot spiritually or a way better spot, I want to say like emotionally, but like I just feel like I'm in a way better spot, you know. Now we've got Big O and PLO high, so now I'm playing with 2 pure wrecks on the PLO high, and then on the other one, you know, it was funny, this weekend I went down to the island and I played, and we got down to playing limit Omaha high and limit Omaha high low, short-handed, like 6-handed, 5-handed. And it was me and pure X, and I was like, this is not fair to any of them. Not fair to any of them. I think I won 13 hands in a row. Like, there was a decent amount that I was bluffing at them too, but like, they weren't being aggressive at me at all. They weren't playing back at me at all. I was also running hot. When you're my probably my strongest game is limit Omaha high shorthanded. Like if there's any game I can play, or pot limit Omaha high shorthanded, like that's a game that I'm gonna be doing really well in. Well, I'm all in on this hand. 9 Jack Jack Queen King. I've got 30% equity. Yeah, we all got the same equity basically. Oh, flops Ace 10 Deuce. I need any face card, any paint. 7. Oh my god, he won with 7s and 10s. There goes one buy-in. Yeah, the WSOP should be fun this year. Like I said, I'm letting it come to me. We have a huge mansion. We have a house bitch this year, so we're going to have a guy who's going to cook us food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So we're thinking like $15 a day in tips for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then chauffeur service, like $20 there, $20 back. You know, so $50 a day basically if you're doing all three. And then we're going to have, you know, anywhere from 5 to 15 guys in the house. So it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be fun. House is provided for, pool, jacuzzi, 7 bedrooms, billiards table, like a little arcade game. I'm probably going to bring Everdell. I've been playing Everdell with my wife lately while playing online poker. I will say that's one nice thing that I can do is do that. That's pretty cool. So, but I think that's about it for this video. You guys play smart, run like a god. Well, we're going to do some in-depth analysis on some Big O online. So here's some of the hands that I was actually playing while discussing topics. So this is one of those hands. I have Jack, Jack, Ace, Deuce, Deuce, suited spades. Don't have to go into too much analysis in here. When the flop's 3, 4, 10, we have the nut flush draw, the nut low draw, an overpair. And when we have a recreational player like Johnny, we're going to get it all in. So we get it all in on the flop, of course. And Johnny has a very similar hand. He actually has Ace, Deuce, 7, 9, 10. So really we just have to avoid a 7, 8, 9 or a 10 to win on this. And we lose. That happened. Now the next hand we're looking at, we look down at Ace, Ace, 5, 6, 6. Double suited both in clubs and spades. Again, we're on the button. We're playing 2-4. We go ahead and raise. Johnny 3-bets us to $94. Justin calls. V-Shot's going to get out of the way. And, of course, we are going to 4-bet. Johnny calls, Justin folds. Now, the problem with this hand, when you see 4-8 Jack with 2 diamonds, if you notice Johnny's stack right here, he has slightly over a 1-to-1 SPR. Now, when you're playing with a pure rec player who does it for the entertainment and enjoyment of the game, and their 3-betting range is wide open, even though you have a 1-to-1 SPR, you just have to run with this. We don't have a single diamond in our hand. We do have an overpair. We do have a gut shot straight draw, and we have Ace 5 for a low. Now, some of you might be thinking that that's absolutely crazy, but I expect Johnny to basically jam all of his flops, and he does. He decides to bet pot. I call, and look what he has. 4, 5, 8, 9 king with diamonds, and we lose this one. But I'd like to point out for a second, look at his 3-betting range. 4, 5, 8, 9 king was his 3-betting range, and then he called a 4-bet pot size bet with that. This is what we get at the Madhouse. This is why I love the Madhouse. This is why most of my action comes from online, is plays like this. Now on this next hand here, we look down at 3, 5, 9, 9 Jack with Jack high clubs and 9 high hearts. We are double suited. We're on the button. We call. Johnny pots it. Justin calls. I call. We go 3 ways to the flop. Now the flop is 3, 9 king. We flop middle set with a flush draw to the Jack. The reason why I don't pot it here back into Johnny is because I have a 3, and we are still playing Big O. We're not playing high only. If this was high only, I would probably pot it back into Johnny, and the reason why is because I'm blocking clubs, and I'm also blocking an inside straight draw. So like the obvious draw is 10 Jack Queen with clubs is what's out there, and I'm blocking both of those. But since this is Big O, and Johnny just leads for pot, I'm just going to call and play with a little caution here. So I decide to call, and the turn comes a 6 of diamonds. Pretty much a blank, except it brings in a low. I call, and the river's a queen of hearts. Now you can see here, Johnny wastes no time in betting full pot. Now let me know what you guys would do in this situation. You're up against a rec player. It's 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're just clicking buttons and you're just clicking buttons back. What do you do in this situation? I think because we have the jack of clubs in our hand, we have to call. Like, legitimately, it does add a little bit of removal, and he's probably got like king 9 is my guess, or a busted flush draw. So I go ahead and call, and Johnny turns over king jack jack 9, and we scoop. So this hand is just straight high. This is not big O. We're on PLO 5. Now I am on the button. I look down at queen queen 884 with the suited queen. When Push and Pray opens it up and Johnny decides to 3-bet on the button, I'm not going anywhere. The most aggressive players at the table are Push, Johnny, myself, and Tanked. And you can see Tanked right there. He decides to 4-bet for 190. Now Tanked is going to be on the stream with us, with Donkfish and I, at the Venetian on Friday. But $190 pre-flop we call. So there's about $600 in the pot. Flops King Jack Deuce, complete rainbow. Checks to me. I can start betting here, but the problem is these guys know me really well. They're probably going to call. Turn comes an 8 of spades. Okay, that's legit my turn card. That's the only card I wanted to see because now it brings in spades. I decide to go ahead and pot it back into Tanked. He calls. He's probably got aces with like ace queen 10 or ace 10, probably with spades. So when the river comes a king, I'm going to bet this because I don't think he's got king jack. He would have led all kings. And if he's got quads, he's got quads. So I go all in. He calls. We scoop. Now this last hand doesn't need too much analysis. Again, this is PLO 5. I look down at queen queen 445, double suited queens. Not exactly an amazing hand, but I am going to min raise it. I forgot to straddle. The only thing I wish that this app had was an auto straddle button. It's something I've talked to the developers about. But they're working on that. So we get a pot size raise by Johnny Kilroy, another very aggressive loose player. And Johnny decides to 4-bet to 140. You can see I don't even waste any time. Tank decides to call for 140. Again, he's going to be on the stream. Donkfish, you guys know. I call him my work wife, but that's Wayne. He decides to jam all in. Johnny goes all in. I'm going to call it off. Let's see what... Now, what's funny is in this 4-way all-in, I believe Tanked has the most equity. Donkfish has the second most equity, and then I have the third most at like 22%. So even though we're 4 ways all in, I'm getting some good odds here. And then you can see Johnny, the other guy who had the $1,000 stack, has 2, 3, 4, 6 jack. I actually have good equity against him. And I'm not going to EV chop it. One thing I do like about this app is you can take out your equity. But we flop Gin and we hold. Also, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you guys like this analysis or this online analysis or anything like that during the Life of a Grinder series? Let me know. Play smart, everybody. And run like a god. I hope you guys tune in for Friday for the live stream on Venetian Poker Go.